Speaking of people we don't want to watch on TV every week. Great segue there, Brian. Thank you. You were an unwitting co-conspirator in that.
Do my best.
We put out the APB amongst the statisticians in the cult of Cornette a couple of weeks ago because we were talking about Daniel Garcia. And nothing against this young man, but he came out of nowhere and we can't get rid of him. There's other people on AEW that we've been looking forward to see and never see. They're in federal witness protection. But suddenly, Daniel Garcia was on Wednesday night. He's on Friday night. He's all over the place. He's wrestling Punk. He's wrestling Moxley. He's in the mix. Never heard of him before. Suddenly, boom. And I said, how many TVs has he been on? How much does he wrestle compared to anybody else in this company, right? So, Peter, I don't know whether he wants his last name revealed or not, but he's from Milford Haven, Pembrokeshire, United Kingdom. So he sounds really snooty.
Oh.
Ah, yes, Lord Fogg. Jolly good rot, old there. Actually, you know, nobody really sounds like that. When I went over there, I was waiting to hear the jolly good old rot. And nobody sounds like that. They all go, cheers.
We missed the good old, you missed the good old-fashioned stuffy Brit. That guy's gone.
Yeah, the stuffiest Brit I came in contact with was the guy in the elevator at one of the hotels was asking me if the fucking bar was open, and I couldn't understand what he was saying because he had that, where were we then? It wasn't Nottingham. It was, it's a certain type of accent over there, and he saw me carrying my ice bucket because that's the only place you can get ice. Is at the bar. There's no ice machine. If the bar's closed, you get no ice. And he sees me carrying the ice machine. He says, I said, I'm sorry? I'm looking at him like he's got steaming turds hanging out of him. And I'm trying desperately to fucking figure this out because he's bigger than me anyway. I'm thinking, are you allowed in England, if the guy in the elevator doesn't understand what you're fucking talking about, can you just begin wailing on him? I don't know the local customs. I said, one more time, brother, a little slower. And finally, you go, also, is the bar open? I was like, oh, I hope so. That's where I'm headed to. And then it come to find out it was.
What were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about this email from Peter, who's definitely a pumpkin eater, over there in Milford Haven, Pembrokeshire, United Kingdom. The Trent-on-Stoke on Whistle and Pig. That was one of the pubs over there, was the Whistle and Pig. I've whistled at a lot of pigs. The four-legged ones won't come for you. Hi, Jim and Brian.
What was this topic? I don't even remember what the topic was of this.
Well, I'm talking about this email. I'm talking about this email is what I'm talking about here. For we asked a question of the cult, the statisticians, this Daniel Garcia. Keep up with me. Keep on. You're light. Have you had your coffee?
I've had 2 coffees, yes.
All right.
I'm on vitamin water now.
How big are they? How big a boy were they? The coffees, the cups, the mug.
They were venti, which in Starbucks language is as big as it gets.
Poor Buddy Wayne, bless him. Buddy Wayne asked me one time, the one from Tennessee, not the one from in the Northwest.
Bless him too.
Well, bless him too. But I was talking to Buddy Wayne. He said, Jim, I've been on a diet. I said, you have? He hadn't lost a single ounce. I mean, he's the only guy I've ever seen his hair was fat. I love Buddy. He was fucking hilarious, but he was huge. His hair was, he had a huge fluffy head of Jerry Clower. He looked like Jerry Clower, but bigger. He had a huge fluff of Jerry Clower fluffy hair. He didn't have a double chin, but he had a double face. He's only got his own son called him Head. And he told me, he said, I've been on a diet. I said, oh, you have, buddy? He said, yeah, all I've had to eat today is a salad. I said, what'd you have it in, a number 2 wash tub? So it depends on the size of the container. But anyway, so back to this email from Peter from Milford Haven, Pembrokeshire, United Kingdom.
Yeah, God save the Queen.
Hi, Jim and Brian. God save the Queen. On this week's JCE, Jim wondered how often Danny Garcia had been used on TV compared to others. As I'm on annual leave this week and have got nothing better to do, here we go. I've counted up all of the Dynamite and Rampage matches of some of the main guys in AEW, and then counted the days since the first match they wrestled on TV, and then worked out the average days per TV match. Pay-per-view matches not included. We're just talking about television. We're not talking about YouTube or whatever. So you've got this down since they started, however many days ago they started, how many matches they've had, you divide it, you see one match every so-and-so days on television, right? Daniel Garcia has had 16 matches in 306 days. 9 on Dynamite, 7 on Rampage. That means one match every 19.1 days. You would think it would be more often, right? As much as we've seen him.
You would think.
But Adam Page has been there 978 days and has had 57 matches, 56 on Dynamite and 1 on Rampage. Adam Page wrestled 1 time on Rampage. That's a match every 17.2 days. So he's got Daniel Garcia beat by 2 days. But now let Twinkle Toes McFinger bang, which is actually the way he wrote it here. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, though, Adam Page is from the beginning of AEW, not from the moment Daniel Garcia got there.
Right. That's his entire run. But since he's had 57 matches in 978 days, that means a match every 17.2 days. Garcia's had 16 matches in a third of the time, 306 days. So he's had a match every 19.1 days. See how we're doing this now? The frequency. What's the frequency, right, Kenneth?
Right, but it's not the frequency since he got there. It's the frequency since the beginning of AEW on TV. I just want to clarify that.
Well, it's each person that's got there. Yeah, it's when each person got there. Adam Page was there from the start. What are you not picking up on this that I'm laying down to
Because when we originally talked about it on the show, we said it's about when Daniel Garcia first got there. There's no one who's had more matches on TV since he first got there. So I just want to stipulate that's not what this is.
Well, apparently you're right. That is what you said. Well, now that we've taken the complete piss out of all this mathematical business that Peter has done over there in Milford Haven, Pembrokeshire, United Kingdom, I'll still give you the statistics that we've got to work with. How's that? Because you may still be right. There may be, since he showed up, there may not have been anybody on TV more often. But because Peter went to a lot of trouble. Punk has had 17 matches, 14 on Dynamite, 3 on Rampage in 274 days. That means he's had a match every 16.1 days.
Wow. Interesting.
So, did I get to Twinkle Toes?
No, you were going to, and I interrupted you.
I was going Twinkle Toes. Yeah, you do that a lot. 49 matches on Dynamite, 2 on Rampage in 763 days, which was shortened due to injury. But he was on track. He was having a match every 15 days.
So he actually stopped the clock with Kenny Omega when he got injured, not up to this point.
Yes. Because even though he's not doing what you asked him to do, he's trying. Bryan Danielson. 21 matches on Dynamite and 8 matches on Rampage in 257 days. That's a match every 8.9 days. He's the award winner there. Because FTR only tag team matches. Think about this. 726 days, 2 years. They've only had 38 tag team matches on television, 35 on Dynamite and 3 on Rampage. But that is a match every 19.1 days. But in 2 years, they were only on, 104. They were on somewhere around a third of the TV shows. Wardlow's a match every 24.6 days. Darby Allin every 21.1 days. Jay Lethal every 33.5 days in 201 days, which is almost 7 months. He's had 4 matches on Dynamite and 2 on Rampage. So basically, only Twinkle Toes, Page, Punk, and Danielson have been used more often than Mr. Garcia. But he closes, he has to assume that old Danny has got some pictures of someone in a compromising situation or taking some compromising substances. But who am I to guess? I'm just a simple country chicken lawyer. Well, they have more specialized categories over there in the UK. You can't just be a small town country bird lawyer. You have to specialize. Are we going with eagles? Are we going with starlings? Are we going with chickens? You got to specify the kind of bird you want. Well, there was that.
Very interesting research there, but it still does not answer the question. So the question is still out there. Has anyone wrestled more frequently on TV since he got there?
That is the question you were asking.
Well, you were asking it too.
And but you continue to ask it now, whereas I'm over it at this point.
All right.
It's been there a lot. Did I say condolences to Jared from St. Louis? I've just found this email.
No, I don't think you did.
I don't think we did. Jared in St. Louis, condolences. His grandfather died on Memorial Day, and he was never a big wrestling fan, but he knew that Jared was, and he started watching NXT 2.0 so he could call Jared and laugh at the shenanigans that he was seeing. I'm sure that was a culture shock for him as an actual wrestling fan. But anyway, Jared is trying to stay upbeat, and our condolences. I didn't mean to overlook that one when I was on the subject earlier.